Are you low income? Do you own a dog? Then this is the clinic for you. $20 gets your dog a license, vaccinations, a checkup, and free spaying and neutering, grooming, and a microchip. We're offering a $5,000 reward for reporting dog fighting. Rain or shine.
My name is Weise, and I'm the founder of Downtown Dog Rescue, which I founded 16 years ago to basically assist homeless people that had dogs living on Skid Row. There was a need, just like there's a need here, for people, to have resources for their dogs. Mostly now what we do is assist what people would describe low-income dog owners, and basically it's just anybody that does not have money to take care of their dogs but loves their dog. We provide resources.
This is Little Woo. This is my puppy. Today they're spading, neutering, they're getting shots, they're chipping the dogs, giving you license if you don't have license, grooming them so you don't have to go to a pet shop and spend an arm and a leg and 2 feet.
My name is Cornelius Austin, better known as Dog Man, South Central LA. I've been working with Laurie Weise Downtown Dog Rescue for about 5 years. I'm just mainly trying to help the community, people that don't know really nothing about dogs, mainly about the pit bulls, because the pit bulls have a bad name.
We get so many people that want to volunteer, and they want to see change, and they really welcome the idea of bringing a clinic here, because there really isn't anything going on. There's not a vet, there's not a local vet. It's not like the West Side where you've got orthopedic vets and all these vets on every block. Here you might have one vet, and it's too far away, and people don't have cars. The major accomplishment with this clinic would be to get just hundreds and hundreds of dogs in the neighborhood licensed, microchipped, vaccinated, because we have an outbreak of parvo and distemper in this area, which is not seen in any other part of the city.
He was running the street and they caught him. He was caught today, so we brought him back here. He probably has an owner. The first person I spoke to this morning came in complaining that one of his dogs was missing because he let him out last night to use the bathroom and he didn't come home. I live in this area, I see it every day. They think that's what they can do. They just let their dogs out the front door, use the bathroom, and that's it. Can't fix people that don't know they're broken.
The microchip is really important because it is a device, so if the dog ends up in the shelter or on the street or a vet's office, it can be scanned and then the person that owns the dog can be contacted. Right now, when we do clinics in Compton or in Watts, people will come up to us and say, yeah, it's really sad somebody stole my dog. When in reality, it's much more likely that somebody just left the gate open and the dog died at the shelter because nobody wanted it.
If it weren't for Downtown Dog Rescue, I don't know where the dogs would be. Well, a lot of us wouldn't be. Just not the dogs, people too. Because this lady, I didn't see Laurie Weise. She done went on death row. What I call streets is death row. This lady done went to help the community. There's some places, some of the places she been, you wouldn't even go. You know what I'm saying? So it's unbelievable, man. Like all this stuff that she's giving here today, it's unbelievable because she's helping the community, helping the dogs. We have a lot of homeless dogs here. That's what you probably see here. A lot of these homeless dogs, loving people start just taking care of them, So I give Downtown Dog Rescue a lot of credit.
His name is Bandit. He was actually a stray dog, and I picked him up last month off the street and took him in my home and taken care of him. I came to get him his license today, get him spayed or neutered, get his nails clipped, and his ears cleaned.
Laurie is my hero. She is amazing. Everything she does, from the rescue of the dogs to the community outreach. She takes dogs that other people wouldn't, and she's not afraid to work with them and make them better and make them adoptable. And she goes into the communities where a lot of people don't want to come, frank to be honest, and she's a trailblazer.
Did you ever meet him? This is Clancy. He came from 76th and Central. He was living under somebody's house for like 2 months, my friend Kathy, and then she took him, and my dog had just died, and then I just said, no way. Tried to bite me, growled at me. 5 years with this bad man who goes to work with me, who goes everywhere with me because he has separation anxiety. My big man, he's 15 years old. He is a ex-fighting dog who is now a canine good citizen and a therapy dog. The love of my life, huh? My bad man who has very bad separation anxiety. Some of the biggest challenges working in Watts are getting the information out to the community. This is not a group of dog owners that have, like, they're not living on Facebook and Twitter and everything, so you really have to do a grassroots approach, flyers, kind of the old school way. We ran a little ad in a local newspaper and just working with a lot of community organizations that already exist. We're trying to raise money right now so we can continue the project because it's really ending next month. Just as we're kind of building up momentum with people coming in, they're kind of shutting it down. This is a hard thing to raise money for because a dog on the internet that somebody rescues, a cute little fuzzy with a broken leg and a sad story, people will donate thousands, okay? If I write a little story about how somebody that's poor needs to get their dog spayed and neutered and vaccinated, I'm not raising a lot of money. It's just not an exciting story. It doesn't always have a happy ending. And it's a very hard thing to fundraise for.
This program is very important because if it wasn't for this program, I probably wouldn't be able to keep him because I couldn't get his vaccination done, couldn't get him registered. And there's a lot of information I didn't know that they gave me pamphlets on that's going to help me give him a better life.
We have to pay for a lot of the people that are coming to buy their dog license. They don't even have the $20. So, I mean, there's people that believe, like, why help this clinic because the people shouldn't have the dogs because if they're that poor and they can't afford a $20 dog license. When in reality, most of the people that came to the clinic, that are still, coming out here today, they have found the dogs on the street. A neighbor gave them a dog because they're moving. So in reality, they're really helping cut down on the number of dogs going into the shelter. So my approach is, why not help them out? Let's just get them up to speed and get everybody licensed and spayed and neutered and move on from there.
These are my brother's dogs. They just got neutered yesterday. So my brother, he didn't want to do them. Got them done because he got a ticket. That's why he's doing them, not because he wants them. If you don't spay or neuter them, it's like 300 and something. And then once you do them, it's $20 for the license. So it's a cost efficient for us.
It's kind of an us versus them mentality sometimes. I think the resistance really stems from it's just lack of information. You try to put yourself in the person's position and you have a total stranger who runs up to you and starts preaching at you and tells you your dog has to have this surgery, you don't know who they are, and you're looking at this Winnebago over here, which I know is completely safe and it's a wonderful veterinarian, but it still is just a Winnebago. So how do I really know you're not going to kill my dog? And who the hell are you? I mean, they're not saying that because they're trying to be polite, but we have some very, they're passionate, but you need to tone it down, sister, because, it's like you just can't run up to people and say, you've got to sterilize your dog, because we're over here, we're looking at all the dogs that are dying in the shelter, but this person doesn't care. It's not that they don't really not care, it's just they're not involved in that. We're all involved in it because this is our whole life. It's my whole life. But this is not the reality. The reality is I have little Sally Sue and I'm holding her and I love her, and you're wanting to grab her out of my arms and take her to the Winnebago and just chop her up. And then we've got the religious thing. A lot of people feel like, it's the dog should have babies, and if God didn't want the dog to have babies, then they won't have babies. And again, these are all things they're not telling you, but I know what people are thinking because some people have actually broken it down for me. So, and then there's also, the thing that I also see is that if you're in this country and you're undocumented, okay, and then somebody's asking you for your name, your address, your phone number, and they're really sweating you and they're really on you, I want your dog, and like, why would you give somebody your name? I mean, I wouldn't. If I was in this country, I'm not even going to use the term illegal because I don't really believe all that, but you just don't have the right paperwork. Okay, so you're here, your dog's here, How do I know you're not going to come and have the police arrest me? I don't know. And I don't speak English, and you're only speaking English, and now my 7-year-old daughter's translating. It just gets complicated. So, I mean, I really feel for people, and I know they want to do the right thing, but you've got to create a trusting environment, and you may not hit it on the first clinic. So if we're here 3-4 times, and their neighbor had a good experience, then they may be a little more trusting. And then there's other people who just know the whole program and they're down with it, and they're just like, oh yeah, my cousin did this and I want it too, and and you just kind of laugh because you're like, good, this will be easy. A day like today, dealing with clients one-on-one and really hearing them tell you how much they love their dog, how happy they are that they found us, that they really just needed a little help. It's very fulfilling. As a kid, I was one of the clients. We had no money, and I had a German Shepherd, and I never thought about being poor. I just love dogs. That's why when we do programs like this, I just think for the children especially, they're going to grow up with a pet, and I believe that I consider myself a compassionate person, and I think that really instills a person to become more compassionate when you take care of an animal. So, and I meet a lot of the children here, and they really are very sweet and very caring. And that's our future. What we're doing here today may look like a dog clinic, but to me, the reason I'm personally involved in this so much is I really believe in social change. And I believe that the dogs connect all of us on some level, and regardless of your education or how much money you make or what kind of fancy car you drive, at the end of the day, you love a dog, and that's really all that matters.